Chapter 1 of a point of view. Me hands tremble as I stand before the mirror. Looking at my reflection, I hardly recognize myself. Fearful, wide eyes stare back at me, and the lace of the wedding dress were suffocating me and itching against my skin. The weight of this decision that I never made were like a heavy load placed on my shoulders. It was pressing down on me like a miserable person. Yes, I was miserable because this isn't the life that I wanted for myself. Outside my room, everyone was busy. They were busy preparing for my wedding, sunlight gleaming on the lawns, guests entering the grand ballroom, but here my world has shattered. You will do this for the family, Eva. My father's cold, sharp voice replayed in my mind. He spoke with such ease, as if my life was merely a pawn in his game. My stepmother and stepsister Sarah watched in silence, their eyes shining with satisfaction, as if this was the moment they'd been waiting for. Sarah should be wearing this dress. I mutter, barely audible. But I know why she isn't. The choice wasn't mine or even Maximilian's. It was his grandfather's wish. His grandfather was a man with wealth and power who chose me because he of the qualities which he said he had seen in me. The door creaks open behind me and I stiffen. I don't need to turn, I already know who it is. Ready. Sarah's voice, sweet yet venomous voice, breaks the silence. Her smile is too perfect, the kind that would fool anyone who didn't know her as I did. She steps into the room, her heels clicking on the floor. Each step a reminder that she is the one Maximilian truly wants and loved. My stomach churns. Sarah is the golden child, the one everyone adored. She is the woman Maximilian loves, the one he wanted. Not me. Yet here I am, moments away from a future tied to a man who loathes me. Don't worry, sis, Sarah says with mock concern, her hand resting on my shoulder. Max will come around. He will see who really belongs with him. Her fingers dig slightly into my skin, a silent warning that I say nothing. Words wouldn't help me now, and any response would just fuel her evil plans against. I lift my chin, steadying my breath as I walked out of the room with her. We arrived at the bustling wedding hall, which buzzing with whispers and musical instruments. The moment I walked in, every eye follows me as I walk down the aisle, each step dragging me further into a prison I can't escape. My heart hammers with every step. I put on a brave front, not revealing my weakness or pain. Maximilian stood at the altar. His expression was rigid. His jaw was clenched as he glared at me. His dark eyes, which was once soft and full of warmth for Sarah, was now filled with cold anger when they meet mine. His balls, his fist, as though resisting the urge to walk away. Did I feel the weight of his glare? He hates me. I can see it in his eyes, feel it in his stance. But I can't retreat. I just can't. When I finally reach his side, he didn't take my hand. Instead, he recites his vows, each word hoarse and grouchy, as if he is being forced to say it. Do you, Maximilian Graves, take this woman Eva Brown to be your lawfully wedded wife? The officiant asks. Max hesitates, the silence stretching was unbearable. His nostrils flare, and for a split second I think he might refuse. But then he speaks, his voice laced with disdain. Ido. The iciness in his tone sent shivers down my spine. My throat tightens, but I force the words from my mouth. Ido. The ceremony concludes, and the people in the claps their hands in excitement. Max didn't wait for me, he didn't even glance my way. He walked ahead, his back rigid, leaving me alone at the altar, his indifference a sharp blow. My heart sinks, but I stand firm. The worst moment of my life has just begun and I hope to survive it. That night after the wedding, I sit in the big empty bedroom that's supposed to be ours. My dress were around me, a deep reminder of everything I've lost. The light coming from the moon seeps through the curtains, casting silver lines across the room. But its soft glow does nothing to warm my heart, which was broken and in pain. A knock at the door disrupted the silence that I was enjoying, and my body went cold as I already knew who it was. Max walks in, his expression hard, unreadable. His eyes flicks toward me for a short moment. He glared at me as he discards his jacket. His movements was sharp and dangerous. The tension between us fills the room like a thick fog, choking me. Max. I whisper, my voice trembling with the weight of all the questions I can't ask. Why are you doing this? He pauses, finally looking at me, his gaze dangerous and sharp. Don't play innocent, Eva, he snarls, taking a step toward me. You knew exactly what you were doing when you manipulated my grandfather into choosing you. His accusation hits me like a punch to the gut, but I swallow the pain, forcing my voice to remain steady. I never wanted this, I murmur, my hands clutching the fabric of my dress. I never asked for any of it. He scoffs, the sound bitter and harsh. Save your lies. His voice lowers, dangerous now. You are just like your late mother. Liar. Manipulator. I felt a sharp pain in my heart at the words, but I refused to let him see how deeply they hurt. He steps closer, his presence overwhelming, and suddenly he grabs my arm roughly. His grip was firm like iron. You have gotten what you had, always what you wanted, Eva, he says, his voice barely above a whisper. But don't expect me to be kind. He releases me with as he shove. It was as though touching me disgusts him. Without uttering another word, he storms out of the room, the door slamming shut behind him. I stand there shaking, staring at the red marks on my arm. I trace the bruise forming on my arm. The bruise ached not just on my skin but deep inside. How did I end up here? How did I end up marrying Max? I was once a girl who believed in love. I'm a girl who had always believed in finding her prince charming and having her happy ending. I had hoped of having a bright and happy future. But now I'm trapped in a life I never wanted. I am trapped because of my father's greed and Sarah's schemes. Tears flowed freely from my eyes, but I blinked them away. No, I won't cry. Not now. Not ever. Tears won't help me survive this hell. I turn toward the window, gazing at the big empty night outside. Somewhere out there, people are living their lives filled with laughter, with love. But not me. I'm trapped in this hell-hole of a marriage alone. Did I take one last look at the bruises on my arm, then curl up on the edge of the bed, cold, alone and broken. Chapter 2, Maximilian point of view. The door slams behind me, and I lean against the cold wall, running a hand through my hair. My chest tightens with frustration. My anger was swirling like a huge storm and I can't control it. I am supposed to be married to Sarah, not her sister, not that slut Eva. Every time I look at Eva, I see my grandfather's betrayal, my family's manipulation, and the lies they spun to trap me in this marriage. And the worst part is that she just stands there, acting like she didn't want this. Like she didn't know exactly what my grandfather and her father planned. I know everything about Eva to know better than to fall for that innocent act of hers. Sarah and I were the victims here, not her. But even as I try to harden my heart against her, something kept drawing me to her. Those brown wide eyes of her kept pushing me towards her. The way her hands trembled when she said her vows. Was that fear real? Could she really be a pawn in this, just like me, or was she acting like the victim like she always does? I shake my head, dismissing the thought. No. She's just a manipulator who does anything to get whatever she wants. She had always knew that I loved Sarah, but she manipulated my grandfather into choosing her over Sarah. She used the love my grandfather had for her to manipulate him. She had always been an angel in the eyes of my grandfather. I walked down to the sitting, needing to get away from the noise of this house, this night, this suffocating feeling of being trapped. I can still hear my grandfather's words ringing in my head. You need Eva, Maximilian. She's strong, intelligent, and she'll do what's necessary to protect this family. Sarah's a liability. You'll thank me one day. I grit my teeth. Thank him? For forcing me into a marriage I didn't want? For choosing the wrong sister? My footsteps made a loud noise in the empty hallway, my body moving on like a wounded lion. I need air, space, anything to escape the huge load of the family name that's been forced onto me, along with the expectations and responsibilities I never asked for. I find myself on the terrace, the cool night air doing little to calm the anger burning inside me. I lean on the railing, staring out at the large, empty garden. The moon casts a pale light over the grounds, but it does nothing to get rid of the darkness and anger I feel growing inside. For years, I have lived in the shadow of my grandfather doing what he likes. I thought he approved of Sarah, but when I prepared to marry Sarah, he came up with the idea of me marrying Eva. Sarah is the woman who I had have soft spot for, and I knew how to handle her. But Eva is a manipulator and wild girl. She's not like her sister Sarah, who is calm and reserved. The idea of living with someone like Eva bothers me a lot. Asterisk inside the house. The party continues, family, friends, business associates all celebrating a union built on lies and manipulation. I hate it. I hate the way they smile, pretending like this marriage is something to celebrate. No one in that sitting room gives a damn about Eva or me. All they care about is the business alliance this marriage represents. I clench my fists. My mind races back to the moment I saw her walking down the aisle, her eyes wide with what looked like fear. There was no joy, no happiness, just resignation. For a second I thought she might turn around and run, and a small part of me wished she had. But she didn't. And now we're bound together. For better or worse, I hear footsteps approaching from behind. The footsteps were soft. Max, Sarah's voice breaks through the silence. It was filled with sweetness, but deep inside that voice was filled with tenderness, and sweetness was a broken one. She always knows how to find me when I need space. I stay silent, not in the mood for her games. She steps closer, her perfume wafting in the air, a scent I used to love, but now it only reminds me of all the ways things have gone wrong. You don't have to pretend, you know, she says, her voice low. This whole marriage is a joke. Everyone knows it. I turn to face her, my eyes narrowing. What do you want, Sarah? She smirks, taking a step closer, her eyes gleaming with a hint of satisfaction. You know what I want, Max. You don't have to stay loyal to Eva. This marriage is just a formality, a business deal. You and we can still be together. No one has to know. I laugh, the sound bitter. You think I'm going to keep sneaking around with you? After everything that's happened? Her smile falters, but she recovers quickly. Come on, Max. We both know Eva is nothing to you. She's nothing to this family. You don't owe her anything. I feel a spark of anger flare up in my chest. I don't owe Eva anything, but the idea of betraying her, making this sham of a marriage even worse, twists something in me that I can't quite explain. I don't owe you anything either. I say, my voice colder than I intended. Sarah's eyes narrow, and she takes a step closer, her gaze sharp. Have you forgotten, Max? I saved you when you nearly fell off that bridge. We were teenagers. You owe me. Her words cut through me. I remember that day vividly. Sarah had saved me, and I had always seen it as a sign of something deeper, something more. Guilt clouds my mind as I struggle with my feelings. I open my mouth to respond, but before I can, she turns and walks away sobbing. I felt her back shaking. You're ungrateful. She throws her shoulder. I reach out, but she doesn't look back. The guilt and frustration build up, choking me. I watch her leave. I regretted my actions. I shouldn't have said that to her. I left the mansion as I headed to the bar. I need to drown myself in alcohol to forget about this sham of a marriage, to forget my grandfather's betrayal. I need to forget, to numb the ache inside. As I drink, the hot liquid offers a good escape from the mess my life has become. The more I drink, the more I forget about my miserable life and my sham marriage. The alcohol gave me peace even for a moment. After hours of drinking myself to stupor, I staggered to my feet. My blurred vision protested the alcohol as I stumbled back home. By now, everyone had already left. The effects of the liquor was taking effect on me. I was expecting the same cold emptiness I had left behind, but when I pushed open the door, Eva was still there, curled up on the edge of the bed, her back to me. Her dress was crumpled around her, and the veil lay discarded on the floor. The sight of her dress being raised to her tight was almost too tempting. My mind was losing control, my desire burning hotter. I couldn't restrain myself any longer. After all, we were married now, even if it was against her will. It wasn't my fault. She was the one who had ruined my life and manipulated my grandfather. Max, you are drunk. Eva said to me the moment she saw me. She walked close to me. I looked at Eva. There was something about her that was drawing me close to her. I placed my lips on her lips as I savored the taste of her lip. Her lip was unlike what I have ever tasted. It was soft and sweet. It tasted more like strawberry. Eva pulled away from the kiss, looking at me with those fright that was always plastered on her eyes. I pushed her on the bed, tearing off her gown as he climbed on top of her. Max, please don't do this. Eva cried out, but the alcohol in me was already taking effect. I ignored her pleading as I thrust it into her. Please, please, I'm a virgin. She pleaded, but I turned deaf ear to her plead as I rode her roughly. Aren't you a slut? Better to be treated like one. I breathed into her ear as I kept thrusting into her. Chapter 3, Eva's point of view. I woke up in darkness, my body aching, my vagina sore. The bed beneath me was cold, just like the man who once lay beside me. I reached out to the other side of the bed, but Max was no longer there. I wondered if he had sneaked out of the room without me noticing. My gown was torn. Shreds of my cloth was scattered across the floor like the little dignity that I had left. I was broken, violated, and utterly alone. I was disgusted with myself. Max's assault wasn't just physical, it was emotional. It destroyed everything that I have ever believed. It destroyed my dignity, my sanity. It is gradually making me insane. I pull the sheets tightly around my body trembling, not from the cold, but from the horror of what's just happened. His cruel words still ranged in my mind. Aren't you a slut? Better to be treated like one. I clench my eyes shut, wishing I could make it all go away. My entire life I've been the obedient daughter, the quiet one, the girl who did as she was told, hoping that somehow doing the right thing would lead to happiness. But there's no happiness here, only sorrow. There's no love, only hate. Max's hatred for me is visible and frightening, flowing into every corner of this room, of this marriage. A sob rises in my throat, but I swallow it down. No, I won't cry. Not now. Not here. He doesn't get that satisfaction. I refuse to let him see how deeply he's hurt me. I won't give him the power to break me any more than he already has. But deep down I know something that can't be fixed has been torn. Something that I can't get back has been taken away from me. I slowly sit up, biting back the pain that flows through my body. My hands tremble as I touch the bruises already forming on my arms, my thighs. Each mark is a reminder that I don't belong here. That I never should have belonged here. It's a reminder that I lost my virginity in the most cruelest way ever. His side of the bed is rumpled, and I notice his clothes are gone, leaving behind only the faint scent of whiskey. He must have gotten up before me, abandoning me to deal with the aftermath of his violence alone. I force myself to move, though every part of me protests. Quietly I slip off the bed, my legs weak and unsteady. My fingers brush against my torn gown, and I let it fall from my grasp. I don't care anymore. The gown, the wedding, this entire nightmare. It's all meaningless now. If only my mom was alive, I won't be forced into this sham called marriage. If only she was alive, I would have the best life ever. I walk over to the window, the empty garden below. Feels like a cage, just like this marriage. Just like my life. I press my hand to the cold glass, wishing I could break it into pieces, wishing I could escape. For years I believed in fairy tales. I believed that one day, a man would sweep me off my feet and love me for who I am. But there are no fairy tales in real life. No prince. Only monsters. Max is a monster. The door to the room creaks open, and for a moment I freeze, terrified he has come back to continue what he started last night. But when I turn, I see no one. Just the empty hallway, calling me to leave, to run. But where would I go? This is my prison now, my life. No matter how much I want to escape, I'm bound to this place. To him forever. I close my eyes, breathing in the cool air from the window. It's not fair. None of this is fair. But I have to endure. Ever since the death of my mother, I had been a pawn in my dad, stepmom, and my stepsister Sarah's game. The rules of the game were set by them. I make my way toward the small mirror near the door, catching a glimpse of myself in the mirror. My reflection looks new to me. It was pale, shaken, bruised. I almost don't recognize the woman staring back at me. My blonde hair, once neatly pinned, is a mess. My face looks much older than it did just yesterday. I turn away from the mirror, unable to bear the sight. The person in the reflection is not me. She's a shadow, a ghost of the woman I used to be. I pull the robe hanging from the chair around my shoulders, wincing as the soft fabric brushes against my bruises. My body feels like it's been through a war, and maybe it has. But it wasn't a war I chose, a battle I agreed to fight. It was one forced upon me, and now I'm left to deal with the aftermath alone. Suddenly, the door swings open, startling me out of my thoughts. My heart leaps into my throat as I whirl around, but it's just the maid, her head bowed low as she steps inside with a tray. "Good morning, ma'am. Sir Max requests your presence in the living room." Her voice is soft, but I can feel the tension beneath her calm voice and composure. She must have heard something. She must know. I nod stiffly, unable to form words, and she quickly leaves the room, the door clicking shut behind her. Max wants to see me. I feel my stomach churn. The thought of facing him again making me physically ill. I don't want to see him. I don't want to be anywhere near him. But what choice do I have? In this house, in this life, I have no choice at all. I take a deep breath, trying to steady the trembling in my hands. I will not break. Not again. He may have taken everything from me last night, but I still have my pride. He can't take that unless I let him. I walk to the door, every step feeling heavier than the last. My body aches, my heart aches, but I keep moving. I have to. I have to find a way to survive this. I step out into the hallway, the walls towering over me like the prison bars they truly are. Each step echoes through the silent house as I make my way toward the living room. The air feels thick with tension, and the further I walk, the harder it becomes to breathe. When I finally reach the door, I pause, my hand hovering over the doorknob. I want to go in. Do I want to face him, to hear whatever cruel thing he has to say next? My fingers tighten around the knob, and with a deep breath, I turn it. The door swings open, revealing Max seated on the couch, a glass of whiskey in his hand, despite the early hour. His eyes lift to meet mine, and for a brief moment, I see something there, something that almost resembles regret. But it's gone as quickly as it appeared, replaced by the same cold demeanor I've come to know too well. "You're late," he says, his voice cold and devoid of emotion. I say nothing, simply standing in the doorway, unsure of how to respond. The silence stretches between the both of us. The silence was choking me, and for a moment I wonder if he can feel it too. But then he speaks again, breaking the long silence. "We have things to discuss, Eva. Sit." Chapter 4: Eva's point of view. I hesitate for a moment, standing in the doorway, my heart pounding in my chest. Max is sitting on the couch. His expression was cold. His eyes met me with that same icy glare. He holds a glass of whiskey in one hand, even though it's barely morning. "Sit," he said, his tone sharp and commanding. That I don't want to. Every part of me screams to run, to get away from him, but my legs move on their own, carrying me to the chair across from him. I sit down slowly, keeping as much distance between us as I can, my back straight and my hands clenched in my lap. The ache in my body reminds me of what he did to me, how he forcefully took away my pride and dignity, but I force myself to ignore it. He takes a long sip from his glass before setting it down on the table, the sound of it clinking against the wood breaking the heavy silence. "We need to set some rules since we both are living together," Max said, his voice cold and it lacks empathy. "This marriage isn't going to work if you don't know your place." I feel my chest tighten, anger bubbling up inside me, but I bite my tongue. I won't make him see how much his words hurt. Not after last night. "What rules?" I ask, my voice barely above a whisper. I'm afraid of what he's going to say, but I need to hear it. I need to know just how deep this nightmare is. Max leans forward, placing his glass on the table between us. He furrowed his brows at me. "First rule: you will never question me. I am your husband and your lord, and you will do as you are told. No arguments, no resistance." I clench my hands together in my lap, my nails digging into my palms. The idea of obeying him, of submitting to him after everything he's done, makes me want to scream at him. But I say nothing. I'm too afraid of what might happen if I push him too far. "Second rule," he continues, his tone sharp and icy. "You will not speak to anyone about what happens between us. Not your friends, not the servants, not anyone. Our business is private and it stays that way." I feel the walls closing in around me, his words wrapping tighter and tighter, making me choke. He's trapping me, cutting off any ways for me to escape. My throat tightens, but still I remain silent. "And third," Max's voice drops lower, his eyes darkening with something that makes my skin crawl. "You will act like the perfect wife in public. No one will suspect anything is wrong. You'll smile, you'll be gracious, and you'll fulfill your duties as Mrs. Maximilian Graves. Do you understand?" I feel the tears burning in the back of my eyes. I nod, my voice trapped in my throat. "Good," he says, leaning back in his seat. His demeanor shifts slightly, as if the conversation is over and he's satisfied with my compliance. My hands tremble in my lap, my nails digging into my palms to stop the tears from spilling over. He doesn't care. I shouldn't be surprised, but hearing him say it so bluntly makes my heart ache in a way I can't describe. "And last night?" I ask, my voice trembling despite my efforts to stay calm. "Is that part of the rules too?" For a moment, something flickers in his eyes, but it's gone before I can even understand what it was. He leans forward, his elbows resting on his knees, his expression hard and cold as he glared dangerously at me. "Last night was a mistake. I drank too much and you were there. It's not my fault if you can't handle what happens when you can't mind your business and decided to provoke me." My mouth falls open in shock. Provoke you? I didn't. You didn't what? He snaps, cutting me off. You didn't want this marriage? Neither did I, Eva. But here we are, stuck in this mess because your family needs a contract and want power. My grandfather forced my hand. You think you're the only one suffering? You're not special. I feel the heat rising in my face, my pulse quickening with anger. How can he sit there and blame me for what he did? How can he pretend like last night was just some accident, some consequences of the situation we've both been forced into? I didn't want this marriage as much as he didn't want it. I never planned to be the same space with a jerk like him. I didn't ask for this either. I say, my voice shaking with anger and frustration. But that doesn't give you the right to. To what? His voice grows colder. To treat you like the pathetic little girl you are? To take what's mine? You're my wife now, Eva. Whether you like it or not, that means you belong to me. Your body, your mind, your life. It's all mine. I only took what was mine, Eva. I gasp. I felt my blood boiling. How dare he say such a thing to me? Instead of apologizing for his wrongs, I decided to give him a piece of my mind. I'm not your possession, Max. I'm a person. I have feelings, and what you did to me. It's nothing, he says, cutting me off again. You're blowing this out of proportion. You're acting like a victim when all I did was remind you of your place. You were born to be someone's wife, someone's tool. That's the life you chose by staying quiet all these years, doing whatever your father and stepmother told you to. My body shakes with fury, tears stinging my eyes as I fight to keep them at bay. You don't know anything about me. You don't know what I've been through. And I don't care, Max replies, his voice as cold as ever. You're here now and you'll follow my rules. If you step out of line, if you defy me in any way, I'll make sure your life is even more miserable than it already is. Do you understand? I stare at him, my heart pounding in my chest. I want to scream at him, to tell him how much I hate him, how much I despise this marriage, this life. But I don't. I can't. Because I know that no matter what I say, it won't change anything. Max has already decided who I am in his mind, a possession, a tool, something to be used and discarded. I understand. I whisper, my voice breaking. Max nods, satisfied with my response, and leans back in his chair. Good. Now get out of my sight. I don't want to see you until dinner. I rise from the chair, my legs unsteady beneath me as I turn and walk toward the door. My body aches with every step, but the pain in my heart is worse. As I reach for the door, I open the door and leave the room without glancing back. Chapter 5, Max's point of view. I watch as Eva walks out of the room, her fragile figure trembling, but she holds her head high, trying to maintain whatever dignity she has left. I can see the pain in her eyes, but I don't care. I won't let myself care. She deserves it. After everything that she did to me, I lean back on the couch, feeling the familiar numbness settle in. The burn of whiskey doing nothing to ease the frustration bubbling beneath my skin. I pour another glass and down it in one gulp, the alcohol doing little to make me forget about the past and the painful memories. Why should I feel guilty? Why should I care about her pain when she didn't care about mine all those years ago? Eva, the name once used to bring warmth and happiness to my heart, but now it only brings resentment, hatred. She used to be my best friend, the girl I confided in, the one I trusted above all else. But she betrayed me in the worst possible way. I close my eyes, letting the memories from all those years ago flood my mind. We were only teenagers, but back then I thought Eva and I were inseparable. We spent so much time together, laughing, sharing secrets, and making promises about our future. I used to think I was in love with her. I used to think that the both of us were perfect together. I was young and naive and I let her deceive me. But it all changed that day at the lake, that faithful day. I can still feel the cold water surrounding me, the panic setting in as I fell off that damn bridge. I had always been a decent swimmer, but the current that day was too strong. I remember thrashing in the water, gasping for air, my vision going blurry as I struggled to stay afloat. I thought I was going to die. And then nothing. When I woke up in the hospital, the first person I saw was Sarah. She was sitting by my bedside, her face pale and her eyes wide with concern. I thought it was Eva who had saved me. After all, she was there with me when I fell. She was the one who knew how to swim. It made sense. But when Sarah, who has had a crush on me since the very day she saw me, told me that she was the one who pulled me from the water, that she had risked her own life to save me while Eva stood on the shore, doing nothing, just watching me drown without any empathy whatsoever. It shattered everything that I couldn't believe it at first. I refused to believe it. But Sarah's words rang deep in my head and heart. She didn't even scream for help, Max. She just stood there. I had to do something. That was the moment something inside me broke. How could Eva, the girl I had trusted with my life, just stand there and watch me die? Why hadn't she tried to save me? It made me realize that everything I thought I knew about her was a lie. I felt like a fool for ever caring about her, for thinking she could be the one for me. Sarah, on the other hand, Sarah had been the one who saved me. She had risked her life while Eva did nothing. All she did was watched as I drowned. From that day on, my feelings for Eva changed into something darker, something twisted. I didn't just stop loving her, I hated her with passion. How could I not? She had proven that she wasn't worth my trust, my affection. She was a coward, a traitor. And now here we are, trapped in this sham of a marriage because of her greedy father and my grandfather's manipulations. That I used to dream a happy life with her. I used to dream of having kids and raising a family with her. But everything changed. All those dreams died on that very day that she betrayed me. I gripped the edge of the table, my knuckles turning white as I think about last night. I shouldn't have lost control like that. I know it was wrong, but seeing her, hearing her voice, it brings everything back. The betrayal, the anger, the hurt. And she just stands there, acting like she's some innocent victim in all of this. Like she didn't ruin everything between us. All this hatred is her fault. I can't let her get to me. I won't let her. I pull out my phone, scrolling through my contacts until I find Sarah's name. I needed to apologize for how I talked to her. The phone rings twice before Sarah picks up, her voice sharp and irritated. I told you not to call me again, Max. I know, I say, my voice rough. But I need to talk to you. I'm sorry about what I said last time. I was angry, and I shouldn't have taken it out on you. There's a pause on the other end of the line before Sarah sighs. You always say that. I was angry. When are you going to stop being angry and start taking responsibility for your actions? Her words cut deep, but I can't argue with her. She's right. I've been angry for so long. I don't even know how to stop anymore. But I don't say that. Instead, I tell her what she wants to hear. I'll make it up to you, Sarah. I promise. Promises don't mean anything if you can't keep them, she replies, her voice still cold. If you want to make it up to me, meet me at Lewis Mall in an hour. We'll talk then. Before I can respond, she hangs up, leaving me with the dead silence of the call. I set the phone down and rub my temples, the familiar tension building in my chest. Sarah has been the only constant in my life since that day at the lake. She's the one who pulled me out of the water, the one who saved me. She's the one who deserves my loyalty, my love. Not Eva. But why does it still hurt to think about her? Why does the thought of hurting Eva make me feel like this? I push those thoughts away and stand up, grabbing my keys off the table. I can't afford to think about Eva anymore. She's nothing to me now. Just a burden I have to deal with until I figure out a way to get out of this mess. Sarah is the one who matters. She's the one who risked everything for me, and I owe her. Even if it means pretending to care about her more than I do. Even if it means doing things I don't want to do. As I drive toward Lewis Mall, my mind drifts back to Eva. I remember the way she looked at me when we were younger, how her eyes used to light up when she smiled. I remember the sound of her laughter, how it used to make me feel like everything was going to be okay. But that's all gone now. She's not the same girl I once knew. And I'm not the same boy who loved her. Sarah was right about her. Eva didn't care about me back then, and she doesn't care about me now. All she cares about is herself, and I won't let her fool me again. By the time I arrive at the mall, my mind is made up. I'll do whatever it takes to make sure Sarah knows I'm loyal to her. I'll prove to her that I'm not the man Eva thinks I am, because no matter what, I refuse to let myself feel anything for the woman who betrayed me. Sarah is my savior. She's the one who deserves my love. Not Eva. Never Eva. Chapter 6, Eva's point of view. I'm sitting on the bed, just staring at my phone. I keep hoping it'll ring, but it doesn't. It never does. I don't know why I even care anymore. It's not like Max is gonna call. He hasn't said a word to me since he left. No, I'm sorry. No explanation, nothing. He's acting like I'm the one who messed up. Typical Max. My chest hurts so bad. I try rubbing my arms to make it feel better, but it doesn't work. The pain's too deep. I can't stop thinking about this morning. The way Max looked at me, like I was something gross on his shoe. The way his voice sounded when he talked to me. He hates me. I know he does. But why? What did I do to make him hate me so much? I get up and go to the window. I open the curtains to let some light in. The sun's bright, but I don't feel warm. Everything feels dark and heavy. Like I can't breathe right. I want to run away, but I can't. This marriage feels like a jail, and the walls keep getting closer every day. Then my phone buzzes. For a second, my heart jumps. But it's just a stupid news alert. I sigh and unlock my phone. I just want something to distract me. But then I see it and I freeze. Maximilian Graves getting cozy with model Sarah Brown, sister of his wife, Eva Brown Graves. Trouble in paradise. I can't breathe. My hands are shaking so bad as I tap on the article. And then I see the pictures. And it feels like someone just punched me in the gut. There they are. Max and Sarah. Together. The first picture shows them walking next to each other. Sarah's got her arm wrapped around his. And she's smiling so big it makes me feel sick. And Max. He looks happy. Like he's having the best time ever. Like nothing's wrong at all. The next picture is even worse. Sarah's got her hand on his chest. And she's so close to him, whispering something in his ear. And Max isn't moving away. He's not looking annoyed or uncomfortable. He looks like he likes it. I feel like I'm gonna throw up. I want to cry, but I try to hold it in. I grip my phone so tight my knuckles turn white. I keep scrolling through the article, even though every word hurts like hell. They talk about how Sarah's this big shot model. How she and Max were friends when they were kids. How people are saying they might be getting back together. It all starts to blur together, and each word feels like it's cutting me up inside. I always knew Max cared about Sarah. But seeing it like this, right out in the open for everyone to see, it's like my worst nightmare is coming true right in front of me. He's not even trying to hide it. Everyone can see now what I've always been afraid of. Max doesn't care about me. He never has. I throw my phone on the bed and start pacing around the room. I can't hold the tears back anymore. They start falling, and I can't stop them. How could he do this to me? How could he show off his thing with Sarah when we're still married? Even if our marriage is just for show, we're still supposed to be together. How can he be so mean? How can he treat me like I'm nothing? I try to wipe the tears away, but my hands are shaking. I'm so sad and so angry at the same time. I don't want to cry. Not because of him. Not because of the guy who's made it so clear that I mean nothing to him. But it's too late. I can't take it anymore. It hurts too much. I fall down on the floor and curl up into a ball. I start sobbing so hard I can barely breathe. I hate that he can still make me feel like this. I hate that even after everything, I still love him. I hate that I can't stop hurting. Because of him. He wasn't always like this. I remember when we were younger, how he used to look at me. His eyes were so warm then. His smile was for me. We were so close once. What happened to us? Where did it all go wrong? And then it hits me like a ton of bricks. Sarah. This is all because of her. My perfect, beautiful sister who always gets everything she wants. Including Max. I should have known. Ever since that day at the lake, she's had him wrapped around her little finger. She made sure he only saw her as the one who saved him. The one who was always there for him. And me? I'm the bad guy in their story. The one who didn't do enough. I cry even harder as I realize the truth. This marriage was never gonna work. Max never wanted me. He's always wanted her. And now, they're showing off their love for everyone to see. For me to see. I hug my knees to my chest and rock back and forth on the floor. I try to make the pictures of them together go away, but they won't leave. They just keep reminding me how little I mean to him. How little I mean to anyone. I don't know how long I sit there crying. But finally, I make myself stand up. My legs feel wobbly, and my heart feels even weaker. But I won't let myself stay on the floor. I can't let them break me. Not like this. I walk back to the bed and pick up my phone. I look at the article one last time. Now the whole world sees me as the pathetic wife stuck in a marriage where nobody loves me. They all think I'm the one who ruined my sister's love story. They see Sarah and Max as the victims. And I'm the villain in their perfect love story. I can't stop the tears as I stare at the picture of my husband and my sister. They look so happy together. So right. And I feel so wrong. So out of place that I throw the phone across the room. It hits the wall and falls to the floor. I don't care if it's broken. Nothing matters anymore. I walk to the mirror and look at myself. My eyes are all red and puffy from crying. My hair's a mess. I look as bad as I feel. Why? I whisper to my reflection. Why am I not good enough? But the girl in the mirror doesn't have any answers. She looks just as lost and broken as I feel. I turn away from the mirror and sit on the edge of the bed. I feel so empty inside, like someone scooped out everything that made me who I am and left this hollow shell behind. I think about calling my dad, but I stop myself. What would I even say? Hey Dad, your perfect daughter stole my husband, and now everyone knows what a loser I am. Yeah, right. I lie down on the bed and stare at the ceiling. I wonder what Max and Sarah are doing right now. Are they laughing about me? Are they planning their future together? The thought makes me feel sick all over again. I roll over and bury my face in the pillow. It still smells like Max's cologne. I want to hate it, but I can't. I breathe it in, and for a second, I can pretend everything's okay. That Max still loves me. That Sarah's still just my sister, not the woman who stole my life. But then reality comes crashing back. And the pain is even worse than before. I sit up and look around the room. Everything reminds me of Max. His clothes in the closet, his books on the shelf, his stupid fancy watch on the nightstand. I can't take it anymore. I get up and start grabbing his stuff. I throw it all in a pile on the floor. His expensive suits, his shiny shoes, all of it. When I'm done, I stand there breathing hard, looking at the mess I made. Part of me wants to burn it all, to destroy everything that reminds me of him, just like he destroyed me. But I don't. Instead, I sink to the floor next to the pile of his things. I pick up one of his shirts and hold it close. It still smells like him. Why, Max? I whisper into the shirt. Why wasn't I enough for you? The shirt doesn't answer. Nothing does. I'm all alone in this big empty house. All alone with my broken heart and shattered dreams. I hug my knees to my chest, rocking back and forth on the floor, trying to block out the images of them together. But the images refuse to go. A constant reminder of how little I mean to him. How little I mean to anyone. I don't know how long I sit there crying, but eventually, I force myself to stand. My legs feel shaky, my heart even weaker, but I won't let myself stay on the floor. I can't let them break me. Not like this. Tears flowed freely from my eyes as I stared at the photo of my supposed husband and stepsister. Chapter 7. Eva's point of view. The house is so quiet it's freaking me out. I've been sitting on this bed for hours just waiting. Every second feels like it's taking forever. The clock keeps ticking and it's so loud. It's like it's counting down to something really bad. Then I hear the door open downstairs. My heart starts beating super fast. Max is home, but I'm not excited. I'm scared out of my mind that I can hear him walking through the house. Each step makes me more nervous. He's getting closer, but he's not in a hurry. He doesn't call my name or anything. It's like he doesn't even care I'm here. When he opens the bedroom door, I stand up. My legs are shaking so much I think I might fall. Max walks in like nothing happened, like he wasn't just caught with my sister Sarah all over the news. He doesn't even look at me. Max, I say quietly, but it's enough to break the silence. He stops and finally looks at me. His eyes are so cold it's scary. He doesn't look sorry at all. What? He says, sounding really annoyed that I try to swallow but my throat feels tight. I'm so angry and hurt, and it's hard to keep it all inside. Why did you do it? I ask, my voice shaking. He just blinks at me, looking even more annoyed. Do what? I step closer, my hands in fists. I'm trying so hard not to lose it. Don't act like you don't know, I say, getting louder. The pictures of you and Sarah on the internet. You made me look like a total idiot, Max. Why? Why did you have to do it where everyone could see? Max just stares at me for a long time. His face is blank, like he doesn't feel anything. You're making a big deal out of nothing. He says, like my feelings are stupid. Nothing. My voice cracks and I can feel tears coming, but I try to hold them back. You were with her, with my sister. Everyone saw you. Do you know how much that hurts me? He looks at me like I'm some bug he wants to squash. I don't care how it hurts you. Those words hit me so hard I can't breathe for a second. You don't care. He takes a step closer, his eyes cold and mean. No, I don't care, Eva. What did you think? This marriage, he waves his hand between us, was never about love. Don't forget your place. I blink at him, his words stinging like he slapped me. My place. I whisper. Max sighs like he's tired of talking to me. Yeah, you're my wife, but only because my grandfather made me marry you. Don't think it means anything. You're nothing to me, Eva. You never have been. My legs feel like jelly and I sit back down on the bed. His words hurt so much. I've known for a long time that he doesn't love me. I've known he only cares about Sarah, but hearing it like this, it's too much. He just watches me, still looking cold. He doesn't say sorry, doesn't feel bad. There's like a wall between us that will never come down. I want to scream at him to ask why he's being so mean, but I can't. The words are stuck in my throat because I'm trying not to cry. How can you say that? I finally managed to say. We've been married for 1 week. Don't I mean anything to you? Max laughs, but it's not a nice laugh. It's cold and mean. 1 week of putting up with you. Weeks of wishing I was with someone else. You want to know the truth, Eva? Every time I look at you, I see a mistake. A big, annoying mistake. His words are like knives cutting me deep. I can feel the tears starting to fall now. But I've tried so hard. I've done everything you wanted. I've been a good wife. A good wife. Max scoffs. A good wife wouldn't be so clingy. A good wife wouldn't be so needy. You're pathetic, Eva. And I'm tired of pretending you're not. I stand up, anger mixing with my pain. I'm pathetic. I'm not the one cheating on my spouse with their sister. What kind of person does that, Max? For a second, I see something flash in his eyes. Anger maybe, but then it's gone, replaced by that cold look again. The kind of person who knows what he wants and takes it. Sarah's everything you're not, Eva. She's smart, she's beautiful, she's exciting. You're just there. I feel like he just punched me in the gut. How can you be so cruel? I'm your wife. Only on paper, he snaps. This marriage is a business arrangement, nothing more. And trust me, if I could end it right now, I would. Then I hear high heels clicking in the hallway, and my heart drops. I know who it is before I see her. Sarah. She walks in like she owns the place, looking around before she sees me. She smiles, but it's not a nice smile. It's mean and full of hate. She walks closer, swaying her hips. Well, isn't this cozy? She says, sounding fake nice. Max, honey, I thought you were downstairs. But it looks like you're busy. Max doesn't answer. He doesn't even look at me. He just watches Sarah walk in, and I can see the way his eyes light up. He never looks at me like that I stand up, my legs shaky. I try to be strong enough to face her. But when she looks at me, I know I can't do it. I'm not strong enough for this. Oh, Eva, Sarah says, making fun of me as she looks between me and Max. I hope you're not giving him a hard time. You know how easily he gets annoyed with you. I want to yell at her, to say something to wipe that smug look off her face, but I can't. I feel like I can't breathe, like the walls are closing in. All I can do is stand there, frozen. Sarah comes closer, smiling more as she looks at me like I'm some sad little animal. You should be thankful, you know, she says, her voice low and mean. Max could have been with anyone, but he picked you. For a little while anyway. Her words hurt, each one feeling like a slap. He's my husband, I say weakly, but even I don't believe it anymore. Sarah laughs. It's a cruel, mocking laugh. Oh, honey, are you still clinging to that? Let's be real. We both know he doesn't want you. He never did. She gets even closer, whispering now. You're just someone who his grandfather chose for him. You are something to keep him busy until he gets what he really wants. And trust me, sweetie, what he really wants is me. I pull away from her, almost falling back. I can't hold the tears in anymore. The pain, the embarrassment, it's too much. Sarah's always been mean, but this is worse than anything before. You're lying. I say, but my voice is shaking. Max, tell her she's lying. But Max doesn't say anything. He just stands there, watching us like this is some kind of show. Sarah laughs again. See? He can't even pretend to defend you. Face it, Eva. You're nothing. You've always been nothing. And you always will be nothing. I look at Max, begging him with my eyes to say something, to do something. But he just shrugs. She's right, Eva, he says, his voice cold. I don't love you. I never have. Sarah's the one I want. She always has been. Those words break something inside me. I feel like I can't breathe. The room is spinning. I stumble back, hitting the wall. How could you? I gasp out. Both of you? You're my husband and you're my sister. How could you do this to me? Sarah walks over to Max, wrapping her arm around him. Oh, Eva. Did you really think you could keep him? You're so plain, so boring. Max needs someone exciting, someone who can match him. Face it, dear sister. You were never good enough. You are just someone to keep his bed warm for now. Max pulls Sarah close, kissing her right in front of me. When they break apart, he looks at me with cold eyes. Sarah laughs softly, stepping back with a smile like she won something. See? She says, sounding all playful, like this is just a game to her. You're nothing, Eva. And you never will be. Sarah turns on her heel, walking toward the door with a casual sway in her step. Max follows her without a word, his hand brushing lightly against her back as they leave the room together. As if I don't exist, I slide down the wall, sitting on the floor. I can't stop crying. Everything hurts. My heart feels like it's being ripped apart. I sit there on the floor for hours, crying until I have no tears left. The house is quiet again, but now the silence feels like it's crushing me. I've never felt so alone, so unwanted, so... Nothing that I was so stupid to think things could change. Stupid to hope that Max might care even a little bit. But now I know there's no hope. There never was. Sarah was right. I'm nothing. Nothing to him and nothing to anyone. I curl up in a ball, feeling like the truth is crushing me. It's hard to breathe. This is my life now. Being alone, feeling embarrassed and hurting all the time as I lie there. I wonder how I got here. How did my life turn into this nightmare? I remember when I first met Max, how handsome and charming he seemed. I thought I was so lucky. Now I know it was all a lie. That I think about Sarah, my own sister. We used to be close when we were kids. What happened to make her hate me so much? Why does she want to hurt me like this? The tears keep coming and I can't stop them. I feel so alone, so lost. I don't know what to do or where to go. I'm trapped in this marriage, in this house, with people who don't care if I live or die. I wish I could just disappear. Maybe then the pain would stop. Maybe then I wouldn't have to see the way Max looks at Sarah, or hear the cruel things they say to me. But I can't disappear. I'm stuck here in this life I never wanted, with people who treat me like I'm nothing. Chapter 8. It feels like the walls are closing in on me. Every breath is a struggle. My heart? It's in pieces. Everywhere I look, there are headlines, whispers, and comments. They're like knives cutting into wounds I thought had healed. But the pain never really went away. It was just hiding, waiting to come back worse than ever. But the pain, the agony, never truly left. It just hides until something rips it open again. And now it's laid bare for the entire world to see. That it started with the whispers, the suspicious glances from the staff, and the awkward silences when I entered a room. But then the headlines came. They were everywhere, splashed across every tabloid and news site, turning Miprivate pain into public show. The news people are all over my misery, spreading it like wildfire. The headlines keep flashing in my mind. Max Graves dumps wife for her sister. Eva Brown left out in the cold. Heartbroken Eva. Rejected and alone. Everyone loves Max and Sarah's love story. Poor Eva. The wife nobody wants. Eva's sad life in Max's shadow. Forgotten Eva. Max cozies up to Sarah. I can't stop reading them over and over. I keep hoping it'll hurt less if I read them enough. But it doesn't. It just makes the pain worse until I can barely breathe. They think I'm a joke. A woman who couldn't keep her husband. A wife left for someone prettier, sexier, better, desirable, pathetic. Humiliated. Weak. That's how they see me. That's how I see me. That I buried my face in my hands as the tears come again. They come too easily these days, like I've lost all control. I don't know who I am anymore. I don't know how I let things get this bad. How I became this. My hands shake as I hold my phone. It's always the same. Every article. Every comment. She should have known Max would never love her. Look at her. No wonder he left. Sarah and Max are perfect together. Eva was just in the way. I can't stop reading. Even though every word hurts. I keep torturing myself, falling deeper into sadness. My heart breaks over and over with every mean comment. I wonder how much more I can take before I completely fall apart. I set the phone down, my hands shaking uncontrollably now. I try to breathe, but it feels like the air won't fill my lungs, like my body is betraying me just as much as my mind. How did I get here? How did I become this broken, this defeated? I stand up from the couch, but my legs are weak. The room spins a little and I have to lean against the wall to stay up. I close my eyes, trying to hold myself together, but everything feels so heavy. Max doesn't care. He never cared. Not about me, not about my feelings, not about how much it hurts to see him with her. He left me here all alone in this house while everyone makes fun of me. I'm nothing to him. I never was. I walk to the window and look out at the city. Everyone's going about their day like nothing's wrong. They have no idea my life is falling apart. I wonder what they'd think if they could see me now standing here, lost and broken, trying to hold on to whatever dignity I have left. But dignity is a fragile thing, isn't it? Easily shattered, easily taken. Just like love. Just like hope. I press my forehead against the glass, the coolness soothing the burning in my skin. I close my eyes, trying to block out the world, trying to forget the cruel headlines, the comments, the images of Max and Sarah together. But I can't. The hurt is always there, just beneath the surface, waiting to swallow me whole. A sob escapes my throat, the sound startling me in the quiet of the room. I don't recognize it, this broken, desperate noise that I didn't even know I was capable of making. I press my hand to my mouth, trying to stop the flood of tears, but it's too late. The dam has broken, and the tears pour out uncontrollably. Like a river that's been held back for far too long, I sink to the floor, curling into myself as the sobs rack my body. The pain is unbearable, a deep, gnawing ache that refuses to be silenced. My chest feels like it's being crushed, my heart pounding so hard I'm afraid it might break for good this time. Why does this hurt so much? I already knew he didn't love me. I already knew he was in love with Sarah. But seeing it all so publicly, seeing the world cheering for them, seeing the pitying looks and the cruel laughter, it's too much. It's more than I can bear. I wipe at my tears, but they keep coming, blurring my vision, making it hard to think, to breathe. I've never felt so alone, so utterly abandoned in my life. The silence of this house is deafening. The emptiness echoing the hollow feeling in my chest. I gave everything to this marriage, to Max. I sacrificed my own happiness, my own dignity, to be the wife he never wanted. And now I have nothing left. No pride, no hope, no love. I think back to the day we got married, how naive I was to believe that maybe, just maybe, he would learn to care for me. How foolish I was to think that if I loved him enough, if I endured enough, I could break through that wall he'd built around himself. But I was wrong. I've always been wrong. Max was never really mine. His heart always belonged to Sarah. I was just there to make his grandfather happy. Realizing this hurts more than I ever thought it could. I cry into my hands, letting the sadness take over. The room feels cold and empty, just like me. I think about running away, leaving all this behind. But where would I go? What would I do? I don't even know who I am anymore. The woman I used to be, strong, hopeful, full of dreams, she's gone. She's buried under this loveless marriage and all the rejection. I don't know how long I sit there crying. Eventually, I run out of tears. The pain is still there, sharp and raw, but I'm too tired to cry anymore. All that's left is emptiness, a hollow ache that never goes away. I look at my phone one last time, at the cruel headlines that keep making fun of me. I can't read them anymore. I can't stand to see my life, my pain, turned into entertainment for everyone else. I turn off the screen and let the darkness surround me. For a moment, I imagine what it would be like to disappear, to escape this nightmare. But there's no escape, not for me. This is my life now, full of rejection, abandonment, and heartache. And the worst part? I'm all alone. Chapter 9. Sarah point of view. We sat beside Maximilian in the car. The look on Eva's face when she saw me with Max was the most beautiful sight, and it meant that I am victorious. Causing her pain and suffering is my life purpose. I've always felt overshadowed by my sister Eva. I've always hated her. I hate how easily everything comes to Eva. I hate how she can walk into a room, and everyone's attention immediately shifts to her, how people seem to draw toward her like she's some kind of magnet for adoration. No matter where we went, who we were with, she was always the center of everything, the one people notice first. Even our dad, who's usually as cold as an ice cube, manages to crack a smile when Eva's around. Me? I might as well be invisible and forgotten. I had always thought that I will be my father's little princess after he brought my mother and I to live in his house after the death of Eva's mother, but no. I was wrong because he never looked my way, neither did he even get married to my mother. My mother is just a mistress to my father because he couldn't bear to hurt Eva. That I can't even remember when it started, the resentment, the jealousy. Maybe it was the first time I realized people liked her more than they liked me. Maybe it was the way our teachers and schoolmates praised her, talking about how sweet and kind and smart she was, while I sat there invisible, forgotten, overlooked, left in her shadow. Or maybe it was the way the workers at home always whispered about her, admiring her like she was some kind of princess. Eva's such a lovely girl, isn't she? She's going to make someone very happy one day. She's so polite, so generous. It was always her, always Eva. And I was just Sarah, the other one. The one who was never good enough, never quite as special. And then there was Maximilian Graves. The man I've wanted since the moment I laid eyes on him. He was mine, or at least he was supposed to be. I thought he loved me. I thought he wanted me. But even that was a lie. He wasn't mine. He was hers. It was Eva he wanted, not me. He loved her. He still loves her, even though he doesn't want to admit it, even though he's too proud to say it out loud. I can see it in the way he looks at her, even now, after everything that's happened. He may be cruel to her, may treat her like she's nothing, but deep down I know the truth. And I hate her for it. I hate her for having everything I've ever wanted. For being the one everyone loves, the one everyone protects. Even when she's hurting, even when she's humiliated, they still flock to her. They still care about her. No one has ever cared about me like that, and to crown it all, the wealth that I have been enjoying belongs to her. Everything was handed over to her by her mother. Her mother, almost all of the Browns' wealth, and Eva is her next of kin, and my father put Eva's name as his sole heiress. I remember the day it all became clear. The day I realized just how much I despised her. We were teenagers. Both of us just starting to understand the world and our place in it. I'd worked so hard to win our father's approval, to be the daughter he could be proud of. But no matter what I did, it was never enough. I wasn't enough. And then there was Eva, sweet, perfect, beloved Eva, who didn't have to try at all. She just existed and people loved her. It didn't matter what she did. She could have done anything, and they would have worshipped her for it. It was infuriating watching her walk through life with that effortless charm, like everything was handed to her on a silver platter. I worked so hard to be seen, to be acknowledged. But all I ever heard was, "Why can't you be more like your sister?" Those words stuck with me and haunted me. They followed me for years, ringing in my mind, reminding me of everything I'll never be, everything I'll never have. But I wasn't going to let her win. Not anymore. So I did what I had to do. I turned people against her, little by little, chipping away at her perfect world. Our father was the first. It wasn't hard. He was already cold, already distant. All I had to do was plant a few seeds of doubt, whisper a few carefully chosen words. Eva doesn't really care about the family business, you know? She's always daydreaming, always thinking about other things. She's not like us, Father. She's not strong like we are. And it worked. Slowly but surely, I started to tear her down, to make her look weak in his eyes. It was satisfying watching the way his disappointment in her grew, the way he began to doubt her, question her loyalty. For once, I was the one he listened to. I was the one he trusted. But it wasn't enough. I needed more. I needed to destroy her completely. That's where Max came in. I knew he loved her. Even if he didn't say it, even if he didn't act like it, I could see it. I could feel it. And it made my blood boil that he was supposed to be mine. He should have been mine. But Eva, perfect Eva, had somehow stolen him from me without even trying to. So I made it my mission to take him back. It wasn't hard to turn Max against her. He was already angry, already frustrated with the marriage. All I had to do was ignite the fire, make him believe that she didn't love him, that she was using him, manipulating him. I whispered in his ear, just like I did with our father. Eva doesn't care about you, Max. She's only with you because of your grandfather. She doesn't love you. She's not capable of loving anyone. He wanted to believe it. He needed to believe it because the alternative, admitting that he still had feelings for her, was too painful for him. So he held on to my words, let them sink in, let them fester. And now he hates her. Just like I do. But even with all of that turning our father, turning Max, it still wasn't enough. Because no matter what I did, no matter how much I tried to break her, Eva still had that glimmer of hope in her eyes. She still had that strength, that unshakable belief that things could get better, that someone would come to her rescue. And that's what I hated the most, because no one ever came to my rescue. I was always alone. I've had to fight for everything. I have had to walk my way through life, scraping and struggling just to get by. But not Eva. She was always surrounded by people who adored her, who supported her, who loved her. That it's just not fair to me. Remember that day so clearly, the day Max fell from the bridge. We were teenagers, both of us at the edge of adolescence, and Max had always been so full of life, so reckless. I watched from a distance as he leaned too far over, laughing as he teased the rest of us. Then, in a single horrifying second, he slipped out. I froze. I should have done something, should have screamed for help, but I didn't. It was Eva who jumped into action, diving into the freezing water after him. She didn't hesitate, didn't think twice. She just acted, and I hated her for it. That I should have been the one to save him. I should have been the one to be his hero. But it was Eva, again, who had done the impossible, the one everyone turned to with praise and admiration. And as I watched her pull him to safety, something in me snapped that I couldn't let her win. Not this time. So I lied. When the story spread, I told everyone I was the one who had saved him. I made it seem like I had been the one who jumped in, the one who pulled him from the water. I spun the tale so perfectly that even Max believed it. I watched the confusion in Eva's eyes as the world around us embraced me as the hero. And she said nothing. She could have defended herself, could have exposed me, but she didn't. And I know why. It wasn't because she was too kind or too afraid of conflict. No. It was because I threatened her. I still remember the look on her face when I held that necklace, the one thing her mother had left her. If you say a word, I'd warned her, my fingers tightening around the delicate chain. I'll destroy this. You'll never see it again. She had always been too sentimental, too attached to that piece of jewelry. So she let me have my victory. She let Max believe that she had left him to die. And that's when I knew I had power over her. She was willing to sacrifice her truth, her pride, just to hold on to the memory of her dead mother. That weakness became my weapon, and I used it every chance I got. But even after all of that, it still wasn't enough, because no matter how much I tried to tear her down, Eva always had that glimmer of hope in her eyes. That light that told me she believed things would get better. And I hated her for it. Maybe that's why I'll never stop. Because I know deep down that no matter what I do, no matter how hard I try, I'll never have what she has. Hope. And maybe, just maybe, if I can destroy her, I'll finally feel something other than this endless, suffocating emptiness inside. Chapter 10. Sarah's point of view. Pushed the front door open and walked into the house. I felt so tired after everything that happened today. The car ride home with Max was crazy. I couldn't stop thinking about how Eva's face looked when she saw me standing next to Max, holding his hand. It felt so good, like I was on top of the world. But now that I'm home, I just want to talk to my mom. She's always been there for me, helping me plan everything. That I found her in the living room, waiting for me. Her eyes were shining, like she couldn't wait to hear what happened. Well? She asked, sounding super excited. I threw my bag on the couch and ran my fingers through my hair. It went perfect, I said, smiling so big my face hurt. Max is totally on my side now. And Eva? She's just broken. Mom's smile got even bigger. She stood up and walked over to me, looking at me like she was so proud. You did so good, honey. You finally showed Eva where she belongs. I felt so happy hearing that. I've been working on this for years, and now it's finally happening. It's everything I ever wanted. Max believes everything I told him, I said. He thinks Eva's just a liar who only wants his money and his grandpa's power. He doesn't trust her at all anymore. Mom looks so proud of me. That's my girl. I always knew you could bring her down. You made Max doubt her, and that's the most important thing. Now we just need to make Max work with us. I sat down in the big chair, feeling so relieved. He'll come around, I said. It won't be long before he realizes I'm the one he should be with. We can build something amazing together. Mom nodded and poured herself some wine. You're right. But we can't get lazy now. Eva still has that look in her eyes. That stupid hope. We need to crush it completely. I watched her take a sip of wine, her fingers tapping on the glass. We need to make the gap between them so big that they can never fix it, she said. That I leaned forward, wanting to hear more. What's the plan? We make sure Max sees Eva for what she really is: weak, not trustworthy, not good enough for his love or protection. She smiled in a mean way. We'll use the news. We'll tell stories about her, spread rumors. We'll make sure everyone knows she's just a gold digger who doesn't deserve Max. I grinned. What about Dad? He's already starting to lose faith in Eva. I've been working on him for months, and he's finally starting to see how bad she is. Mom waved her hand like it wasn't important. Your dad doesn't matter. He'll follow whoever has the power. Once we have Max fully on our side, your dad will do what we want. Trust me. The way she sounded so sure made me feel better. She's always been the one with the big plans, teaching me how to play this game. Together, no one can stop us. That I grabbed the wine glass she left on the table and took a big drink. The wine tasted bitter, but it felt like we were celebrating. To us, I said, holding up my glass. To winning, she said back, clinking her glass against mine. We sat there quiet for a bit, both of us just enjoying the feeling of winning, knowing that we finally put Eva in her place. But as we drank our wine, I started thinking about what to do next. Max. He's the most important part of all this. If I can make him totally turn against Eva, make him see that I'm the one who really cares about him, then everything will work out perfect. I need to hang out with him more, I said, breaking the silence. Make him trust me completely. If he sees that I'm the one who's always been there for him, he'll turn away from Eva for good. Mom nodded like she thought it was a good idea. Yes. And once you've got him, you'll have everything you've ever wanted. I smiled, thinking about how my life was going to be. Max by my side, Eva kicked out and embarrassed, everything I've ever dreamed of finally coming true. But then suddenly the front door slammed open so hard it hit the wall with a huge bang that my heart jumped and I looked up. There he was, our dad, standing in the doorway, looking so angry I thought he might explode. His eyes looked around the room, then landed on me and Mom. His jaw was clenched so tight I thought he might break his teeth. What the hell is going on here? He yelled, his voice so loud it made me flinch. Mom stood up quick, her face changing from surprise to calm in a second. What are you talking about, honey? She asked, sounding sweet but careful. Dad took a step forward, staring right at me. I just got off the phone with Max's grandpa. He told me about the rumors going around about Sarah and Max and about Eva being a third party and gold digger. And he's super mad. What the hell have you two been doing? My stomach felt like it dropped to my feet. The wine in my hand suddenly tasted awful. This wasn't supposed to happen. Not yet anyway. But when I looked at Mom, I didn't see any fear in her eyes. Just cold determination. She stepped towards Dad, her voice getting real quiet and scary. Calm down. We have everything under control. But for the first time ever, I wasn't sure if we really did. Dad's face gets even redder. Under control? He shouts. Do you have any idea what you've done? Max's grandfather is threatening to cut all ties with our family. All our business deals, all our connections. Everything could be ruined. I feel like I can't breathe. This is bad. Really bad. I look at Mom, hoping she has a plan, but even she looks a little worried now. Listen, Mom says, trying to sound calm. We can fix this. We just need to dash, but Dad cuts her off. Fix this? How? You've been playing with fire, and now we're all going to get burned. He turns to me, and I've never seen him look so disappointed. Sarah, I thought you were smarter than this. I thought you understood how delicate our position is. Do you realize what you've done? I open my mouth to say something, anything, but no words come out. I feel like a little kid again, caught doing something I shouldn't.